Conversation on special interest topics, news, events, and stories through correspondent reports, expert opinions, and bring you stakeholders' analysis. Our first point of call on the show this morning is on ministerial nominee with is on Anchor's chat. Ministerial nominee with 2 credits quizzed amongst others. Presidential broadcaster President Tinubu says fuel subsidy must go. On IPO, Haribo writes, Others asked Nigerians not to trust NLC on proposed protests. On 10th anniversary, APC was imperative child to pull Nigeria from brink. This is coming from Felix Morka. On subsidy palliative, and Northern Elders Forum asked Tinubu to hasten actions that will cushion hardship. In insecurity, IGP approved schools a protection squad establishment. Our guest on the show this morning is Dr. Wambu Gabriel, Executive Director, Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness. We also have Prince Abulubu. welcome back to ATN's Anchor's chat, and it's time for also bring you this one of the stories from the National Assembly yesterday during the ministerial screening. So yesterday was the first day of ministerial nominee screening, and it took different turns as questions was posed to some nominees and some was asked to take a bow and go based on recognition and maybe past experience with some lawmakers. Now, a question was posed to a nominee by Senator. Would want you to explain how you got into university with that, just to credit. Well, in his response, Mohammed said he had other secondary school results that he all passed, which he admittedly did not attach to his CV, because he said we are talking of secondary school certificate. I want to remind the distinguished senator, which I know he very much knows, that with the qualification of secondary school certificates as enshrined in the Constitution, we can stand for an election up to the presidential election. That's his explanation. So I didn't bother you with more certificates, but I know those are the qualifications for that. That's according to Mohammed Bello, the nominee. So he said, you're saying, you're saying that you chose what to give the Senate. You chose the qualification to bring before the, that's Akpabio, I beg your pardon, because of the constitutional provision that the secondary school certificate is what is required to stand for election. The Senate President queried. So you're not coming to stand for election, he continued. You're coming to be a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So which are the other certificates you concealed? Which are the other certificates you did not put in your CV? Mohammed said, he said that he sat for another examination and he passed, but he said, I don't want to attach another qualification because it's not necessary. I don't want to have this particular conversation alone because it's Anchor's chat, but let me bring in my guest here. Let's even start from here. Prince Abulubo, good to have you on ATN for us.
Morning.
Nigeria will humble you. You know, did you watch to the brains? So I was watching this yesterday. First and foremost, I watched him. It is the confidence with the confidence, and I learned he's a senator. It is the confidence with which he was actually, you know, dishing all of this conversation, and that makes it really disturbing for me. Here is what I observed. You have other exams you've written. You didn't attach them, and you are confidently telling us that it doesn't really matter so long as you have your school certificate. After all, that's what the Constitution said. Of course, that's what the Constitution said. If that's what the Constitution, why did you even attach it to credit? You could have saved up the horror and not attach the two credit. What was the essence of attaching the two credit? If at the end of the day, it's going to be something that we cannot boldly, I don't know. I'm trying to...
we have found ourselves where we are. You can imagine if I have...
to come, because I honestly wasn't expecting anything to come out of senatorial screen, the ministerial screening. And I'll tell you why. Over the years, during some of these ministerial appointments and all of that, I have always wondered, and this is the third time I'm raising the issue on the show since this whole presidential nominee, ministerial nominee thing. That's because, for instance, this is someone that is supposedly going to head a ministry.
The ministry.
What are you telling? Hold on. Is it beginning to make sense why this Nigerian government don't fund education?
Because you can.
No, but is it beginning to make sense?
Yeah, because you can look at somebody that's expected to implement policies. Somebody that is expected to make policies for his ministry. Then the person is outrightly telling us that education is not necessary.
That's the point.
So how do you come about the policy for that department or for that ministry?
Someone was saying that
it's an indication that solving Nigerian problem, because we have better heads, we have better hands, we have people that are well schooled, people that have something to offer. You don't because somebody hijacked election and so you have to compensate the person at the detriment of Nigerians. It's most unfortunate.
I'm honestly worried. I'm honestly worried because the thing is, what picture are we painting out there?
Because
what are we telling? What are we telling people?
Because even going back, when you're coming to the Senate, you are expected to be guided with two principles. If I'm able to convince Nigerians, then I'm qualified for the position.
Yeah,
but with the Senate that we have, it is, in fact, he could have also stayed back to say that because of one challenges or the other, he couldn't attend the screening, and he will also be clear.
And sometimes I just feel maybe I should just cry. I don't know if I cry, if it's going to make, maybe I'll feel better somehow. I was watching the other ministerial nominees yesterday. I've had people come on the show say it doesn't really matter whether we know what portfolio they have, because I've always asked, how come they don't have portfolios?
No, when
and the reason why I'm asking this question is, this is a typical example. If I see your documentation, your resume, that this is what it's contained,
for the combat to exhibit the psychopathy that he just did,
there is no need to question him. There is no. Are you serious?
We had a section yesterday where the former commissioner for health in Cross River State was